Good evening, everyone. Welcome to UFO Man Live. My name is Tim, for UFO Man. My hosts this evening are Tom Reed from UFO Expo. Say hi, Tom.
Hey guys, miss me? It seems like forever, doesn't it?
And we have a brand new co-host this evening. Her name is Rhiannon Alley. Please welcome her to the panel.
Yay! Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Rhiannon and Tom will be my co-host for the foreseeable future. Tom's going to go, what do you mean by that? No. Can't hear you, Tom.
I'm adjusting my levels here. Yeah, I feel like I'm being replaced again. You know, it's first
now it's Rhiannon. Yeah. Well, who would want to look at Tom when they can look at Rhiannon? So anyway.
Well, I still think I come out ahead. I'm just kidding. Anyway, for those who don't know, though, Rihanna is actually my director of UFO Expo.
Right. And I'm the behind the scenes marketer, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And I was a presenter this year, but by the way, guys, in the chat and watching online, we're waiting for our guest to arrive. He's running a little bit late, and when he does come on, then we'll get into the thick of things concerning Dr. Gary Nolan from Stanford. So hang tight with us, and we will definitely interview the man. Tom, would you like to tell us a little bit about how you survived UFO Expo 2023?
She saved me. Yeah. So my God, it was crazy, right? So it was so many things going on, right? It was less like, and I guess the UFO girl was there too, I think, for a little bit. Alien girl, yeah. And so anyway, there was a couple of things that came up. Like, when we set this thing up, we actually didn't realize that Sunday was daylight savings. So, some people were like on time and some people were running an hour off, and so that created a little bit of a last minute fiasco. And we're like, what's going on? Why is everybody late? And sure enough, daylight savings, they didn't change their clocks. But the phones kind of obviously corrected themselves after a while, but that was kind of a little bit of a hiccup. But the food was great. People were great. The city of Roswell put us under their wing. We met with Attorney Hess. We met with Juliana was a sitting official. She was really impressed. She took us out. We went to McDonald's. We hung out, and she was great. And then the other city attorney, Christine Arnold, she was terrific. We went down to the Roswell Museum. There was a large sculpture that was also donated to the museum on our family's behalf. We were kind of there for that. That was neat. And of course, the Roswell Daily Record had there it is. Yeah. The Roswell Daily Record was so supportive. Toby, Sarah Lee, Barbara Beck, the owner, and Barbara Beck, the owner of the Roswell Daily Record, who actually worked on the article, or family worked on the article that we all see with the foil and so on, that made the cover of the paper. I mean, she zoomed in to our meeting as well, and so it was just nonstop. We were going from start to finish. It was we check in and the Zoom guests and the AV, and Rihanna was saved my butt a couple of times. I mean, I was burned out. I was exhausted. And so we had an awful lot of people that stepped up and helped us out, because there was a lot of things happening at once. And right, I mean, I would say that was at one point I addressed the friggin' city of Roswell at the Rotary Club, and I was like shot. Right, I was like exhausted. I'm like chugging soda. I'm like, right. I mean, I was tired. I could barely stand. I mean, I would think I was getting 3 hours of sleep a night. Right, we were going to bed at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I was up at 6. Yeah, for 3 straight days. So,
and UFO Man kept calling him. So
he's burning up my phone. He's like, I'm like, Tim, he's
really busy.
I'm like, Rihanna, take the phone. And then Travis was trying to do zooming in with you, and we had people in the background, and there was music. We had bands. We had 2 bands. We had the disc jockey. It was just ridiculous, man. It was so cool though. So we got invited back. We're going to be doing it again next March. We're back in Roswell, and the eclipse. We were approached by, who was that talked to us about that, Rihanna? The eclipse. Well, that was Juliana. Congress.
She mentioned, yeah, it was Juliana first and then Elaine. So they're all trying to organize that. And that's going to be fantastic.
So, do you know about the eclipse? So the eclipse is going right over Roswell on October 14th. And so they want to have like some type of an event for that. And so we,
cool.
yeah, so we opted to do it, but I don't know what we can really do, right? I mean, you know, it's at 10:30 in the morning, right? I mean, who wants to party at 10:30 in the morning? Anybody in chat want to party at 10:30 in the morning?
Bring some food trucks.
Yeah, we do kind of. But yeah, I don't know what we're going to be able to do. We're thinking of making an appearance there and doing something with the museum possibly, but you know, we're focusing on next March again. So we're going to be back next March. So it was really kind of yeah.
According to
also,
NASA, Roswell is one of the best places to see the eclipse on the map.
Wow.
Remember, I think there was like 3 or 4 places that was designated to see that, and Roswell was right on the target.
Number one, I think, yeah. And so we were on the road for like 3 weeks. It was just, you know, it was in we had to go to. Oh, by the way, so this is kind of cool. So the guitar was given away. We raffled it off. So the guitar signed by Ben Hansen, Travis Walton, Lou Elizondo, myself, Nick Pope, yes, and
Mike Barra.
Thank you, and more. Melissa Tittle and Caroline Corey and everything. So we had the nephew of Stevie Ray Vaughan raffle it off live, and then we had Tyrone Vaughan, the son of Jimmy Vaughan from the Thunderbirds, zoom in. So that was kind of neat. So the guitar was in their family. So we had this band playing. There's actually a video of it. I should have given you the clip, but that was kind of neat. And somebody that we actually know won it, right? So Max, one of the guys at his store is right across the street from the Roswell Museum. He actually
Alien Invasion.
Yeah, he won the guitar. Yeah, so that was kind of cool. So then we went over his place afterwards and had a couple of drinks in the back of his little, you know, store there, which is kind of neat. Probably doesn't want people knowing that he's got a bar back there, but he does. So, yeah. So we're like, T-shirts, but who wants a drink? We're like, yeah, I do. So you went back there, right? Did you go back there with us or no? To Max's
No, I was too busy holding the fort down on some other things.
I got to tell you, when I called one time, Tom, when he was working UFOXPO, I got Rhiannon on the phone, and she said, Tom can't talk right now. He's got alligators in the pool. And I'm like,
what a metaphor.
Okay, I understand. And I was gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty true, too. It was like crazy.
So I did understand, so I thought it was cool. But it's really unique and epic that we're all linking up as a team on UFO Man. And I want to sincerely welcome you, Rhiannon.
Thank you. I'm excited. I'm here to help in every way we can to grow this UFO Expo and your show, the UFO Man. So, I mean, this is the time that it's all happening.
It's definitely the time. And the fact that we actually have a legend in ufology by the name of Tom Reed. Yeah, he doesn't know where he's at the moment, but we do have a legend. And we
maybe one day, yeah. Maybe one day I'll be remembered.
And we actually have a very well-renowned UFO researcher and ancient mysteries researcher, Rhiannon Alley. So that's very awesome. And if you get a chance, go over to her Sky Tribe Mysteries channel. I've done that. And there's a lot of good content there if you're into ancient civilizations and the possible connection between them and alien visitation.
It's all connected. This is what, I'm experiencing is that it really is. It's just all intertwining together. So when one person says like, I'm into ancient civilizations, where did they come from? Let's dig a little deeper.
Now they're saying that Sumer is not the oldest civilization, that there were several civilizations prior to that.
And they're coming up with new discoveries every day.
Right.
Every day. Just when we think we know everything, here comes something else. And by the way, we are working on our final episode of Sky Tribe Ancient Mysteries with Tom. He was my guest. And we were down at Coral Castle That was in October. Yeah.
Yep.
And so we've been so busy with the expo that we're kind of having to juggle a few things, but it is going to be showing very soon. So
And
that's
I
going to be
actually
a good
had
show.
you on this channel
Yes.
showing some of your research at Coral Castle when you were down there. So if people want to watch that, you can get kind of a trailer viewpoint of what's going on down there. But
Yeah, it's going to be very layered because we found there was more content to put in it, and we just got so wrapped up with the UFO Expo out in Roswell, so we had to kind of like put that on the back burner. But it's going to happen really soon.
good, because we need to get the information out to the public. That's the whole point. People need to know the mysteries around them because I don't think people have a lot of time to look outside the box in their daily lives. And when they do, they're mind blown because they don't know exactly who to turn to for the actual source information. And that's why we would like to consider UFO Man a good source information site along with Sky Tribe Mysteries and Interspace TV.
UFO Expo.
Right.
And UFO Expo as well.
And we have a new sponsor. Did you tell
Yes, we do. We have a new sponsor. Go ahead, Tom. You said
no. You go ahead. You go ahead.
You go ahead.
You go ahead.
You go ahead.
Rihanna can announce it because she was part
Rihanna.
of
You announced.
There you go. Well,
Okay, so it's Fuel Up.
Yep.
And they're at the UFO Expo, and it's like a hydrating energy drink. And I know that sounds kind of weird because usually energy drinks are kind of dehydrating, but I'm a huge Monster fan. Like I love my Monster energy drinks. Like it's an
Same
addiction.
here.
So I'm thinking, hey, well, I don't know if this stuff is going to work. Is it going to be enough? Well, I did not have a Monster that day. And we had a big day at the expo. So I went ahead and took one of their little shakes and I drank it and it was really good. I think it was like orange sherbet or something like that. And I have to say, I didn't drink anything else after that. It didn't give me like that huge spike, of energy. It kept me there, kept me focused, and I got the job done. It was good. There it is. Yay. What's the flavor?
I don't know what to say. It's backwards to me.
Oh, I can't even see it.
I can't read it from here. It's kind of like
I don't have my glasses.
Orange sherbet.
There's that one, and then there's Rest.
Oh, I did. I want to try some of that. Did you try some of that?
And then there's Play.
Yeah, Play is what I need.
I know. Right?
You need a little concentration.
We got Wake, Play, and Rest, but it's like $50 a bag for this stuff. So they gave us some to try, guys, and I actually liked it. I think it's pretty good. It's kind of like a rush, like a boost, right? Without the caffeine type of
powdered drink that has proprietary elements in it that boosts the immune system, stabilizes your cell structure, and keeps you hydrated, which is the whole point. Is to keep you hydrated and give you an enjoyable drink. So
do people know you're practically a doctor? Like a medical doctor?
No.
Well, yes.
I just study, that's all.
No, you went to school. Don't look at his face. Look at his little red, rosy cheeks.
I'm not a medical doctor, but I was a licensed practical nurse in the state of Minnesota for 20 years.
Yeah, man, you know what you're doing. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. Yeah. So yeah, we got the sponsor now. So they were sponsoring UFO Expo, and so now they're sponsoring our channel, and so that's kind of cool.
Also, UFO Expo.
Where is our guest?
I don't know, but also UFO Expo has officially signed on as a real sponsor.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when you look at our new header on our YouTube channel, you'll see both of them listed on the banner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I think this is great, right? I mean, we have a little with the three of us, and if whatever one of us ever, was, victim of a drive-by shooting or we choke on a chicken bone or something, we have the other one that we're not alone, Tim. We won't be alone.
Right. And when Tom is at it, see, the thing is when Tom and Rhiannon are gone at UFO Expo events, I do have backup people lined up for co-hosts. So
Yeah.
we will still be streaming. Now, one thing I got to let all of you know is we have a couple really neat guests coming up after, well, Gary Nolan, if he does show up.
Yeah.
One would be Race Hobbs from UNX Digital Broadcasting, who covers fringe topics, much like Art Bell. So if you want to come on and listen to him, that'd be really cool. That'd be on April Fool's Day. And are we going to tell you there's a live stream and not show up? Who knows?
Yeah. This
Anyway,
is shocking. Quite
Sometimes
honestly.
it happens.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now you know.
Anyways, we also have a live stream coming up with John Burroughs from Rendlesham Forest.
You're welcome.
And Tom brought him to the channel. So
And Race.
Yeah, we're going to be talking to them. Yeah, you slap yourself on the back of the head really hard.
Add a little something to the channel, Just, it's okay. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. I always have to.
And Rhiannon knows a lot of people too, so she's going to be able to help immensely. Yeah.
Good.
Oh yeah. So next weekend we have a kind of a big weekend. We're going to Spruce Pine, Tom and I, on Friday, and meeting up with Sherry and the mayor. We've got all kinds of appointments lined up so we can get the UFO Expo going there for June 10th at the Spruce Pine Alien Festival.com. So we're getting geared up for that. That's going to be very exciting.
Yeah. UFO Man will probably broadcast live from there because it'll be Saturday night. So we're going to set up something for you, Tim. Hopefully you can. Yeah.
Hopefully I can get there in person. If I can't, I'll do it virtually again.
Yeah, it's June 10th is actually when the conference is, but we can always have Matt go because Matt's going to be there anyway. So he can, he's kind of part of the channel too. So he can handle all the AV for the live feed. That would be neat. Maybe just do a live feed of the entire event. Right? For at least that hour, right? Yeah. So we could do some filming, some pieces, and then do like a live feed and then insert some of the other pieces from outside. Something like that.
Right.
Okay.
Guys in the chat room, we are still waiting on Gary Nolan. I think he got his time zones mixed up. And he's going to be here a little bit late, I would say. But I did send him an email directly to him and directly to his manager, and I haven't heard back yet. I will leave it to Tom and Rhiannon to talk for a bit while I check on where our guest is. I'll be right back.
All right. We'll be right back after these words. So why don't we talk about Rhiannon a little bit? So Rhiannon and I met, we got a mutual friend. We met in Florida, Palm Beach, and she was in St. Augustine, I think. And I used to have a company, Miami Models, and I used to hold events and stuff. And Rhiannon, at the time in the late 1990s, was working at a TV station. Right?
Channel 12?
Channel 12.
And Channel 59. TLV 12, and WJEB Channel 59, which was the Trinity Broadcast Network.
There you go. So anyway, one of my friends married your friend's sister. Is that right? Chris, right? So Chris. Yeah, Chris. And so then we started talking, and we went to Florida. We hung out. She had a bunch of properties there to stay in her condo. She'd say, "You can stay over in this condo for this week, pay the cleaning crew, and then you can stay at our condo over here, and then you can go to Hutchinson." Was it? What island was that? Oh my God,
Anastasia.
Anastasia Island. And so I was bouncing all over Florida, staying 1 week here, 1 week. So I was going on vacation for months at a time, just boom, boom, you're moving all over the place. And so then anyway, we put together UFOXPO, and so she became my, our partners. We're basically partners in UFOXPO. But one of the cool things with her too is she's got this insight to all these other, the pyramids and things. You and Rom were in God, what was it? Not Pakistan. Where the hell were you?
Cambodia, Angkor Wat.
No.
We've been to so many places.
Yeah, the underground is like underground caverns and stuff. You were broadcasting live out of these rocks, and where was that?
Yeah, the Wheel of Giants in the Golan
Yep.
Heights in Israel.
Okay,
That was
so
my episode number. That was number 1.
was it your first one? Okay.
How did you get good Wi-Fi connection underneath the ground in the caverns?
Listen, I've been in some of the most remote places. And I don't know, miraculously, I just get Wi-Fi. Some of these temples have Wi-Fi.
No, come on. There's got to be towers there somewhere, an airport or something. But anyway, I saw these.
It's high advanced
You're
technology.
underground, and you got all these people
Right.
around, like deep. So you went to what is the coolest spot you've been to? Because I think you went to
UFO Man channel.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
I think, well, if I look back, I mean, I've been to China, a lot of temples out there, and Thailand and Israel and South Africa, but Angkor Wat really stands out. Like, I should have done a show there, but at the time I was doing mainly just stills and documenting everything in stills. And that's why I turned to video, because I'm like, I need to really be documenting these experiences with video instead of just stills, because people were living through me,
And you
so
went to
that was a special place. It was just magical of all those temples over there. Stonehenge, I went out there. Oh yeah, went up to Stonehenge, of course. That was like one of my big bucket list is Stonehenge. I mean, I spent like a few hours out there, and some people go, "Why are you going to Stonehenge? It's just a bunch of rocks." I didn't get that at all. I loved every bit of it, and I thought it was very mysterious. And there was definitely like a frequency there with all those huge stones. So, but yeah, Angkor Wat is probably my most memorable trip, exploring all the temples. We had a great guy escorting me in a tuk-tuk, and I think we paid him like $20 for the entire day. Oh no, I think it was even like 2 days in Cambodia. And I mean, I was like in the rice paddies, making phone calls.
rice
It was
paddies.
insane. Yeah, I'm in the rice fields, with the rice paddies. Like, hey, you don't even guess where I'm at. On boats, out in the middle of nowhere. There was like alligators. It was like an alligator farm, a floating alligator farm.
So you were where the alligators were in the pool. Gotcha.
Oh yeah, like I was all over the place, but I just kicked myself in the butt because I did not video document that place. Oh, and it was locust season. Oh, that was a trip.
Everything else, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that was like a whole nother thing. I went to the hotel, and this hotel was gorgeous. They had this huge Buddha, this statue, like 8 foot tall, with like water surrounding it, like a moat inside the room. Well, I'm like getting settled. There's these flying things all over the place, and the bed had a mosquito net on it. And I thought, oh, it's romantic. Oh no, I know why there's a mosquito net, because it's locust season. So, I mean, there's locusts everywhere in the room. So I go down to the lobby and I tell the guy, I'm like, listen, there are big grasshoppers flying all over. He goes, oh yeah, locust season. And I'm like, okay. So he goes, you just got here at locust season. I'm like, okay, but I have locusts in my room. They were in my suitcase. It was horrible. But anyway, just grab one and dip it in chocolate and eat it, and you're good to go.
Ouch.
That's what they do over there.
Hey, really? So when you went to Stonehenge, right? When you pull up, right? Did you pull up in were you on like a tour bus type of thing, or did you go by yourself? When you get there, isn't there like someone that watches the place, right? And is there like a tour thing, or is it just like open to the public? Or so if like people in chat go, I want to go to Stonehenge, right? How do they actually get there? Because I believe it's fenced in, correct?
It was kind of open, but you have to go through like the the tourism center, and get your tickets. And then you can get an audio guide, which you just plug it in and then just make your tour. So you do have to, it can't just free roam,
Right.
you can once you get in and get the ticket, but they have guides that you could pay a la carte that if you wanted that special attention, or you just plug in the earbuds and walk around.
Okay, so it's a tourist spot now.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So you were in Israel when it was getting bombed last year, right? You were doing
No, you're
right?
talking about the Georgia Guidestones. See, Tom and I were supposed
No,
to
that's
do.
something different. But that's interesting too. So you were going to go to the Georgia Guidestones, which is like America's Stonehenge, and it got blown up like the day before.
Yes, Tom and I asked him, I said, hey, I'm thinking about doing my 3rd episode at the Georgia Guidestones, because I thought we just got off of this whole roller coaster of COVID for 3 years, right? Depopulation plan, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that has something to
Agenda
do with the
21.
Georgia
Yeah,
Guidestones.
it does.
So I was trying to connect the dots, and I thought this would be an excellent time to bring that to light. So Tom's like, oh yeah, I want to go out there too. And I'm like, well, let's do it. That'll be my 3rd episode. So we had everything planned. Him and I spent hours on the phone trying to crack the code, organizing everything.
Who actually owned it?
Yeah, we went through everything.
Banker.
And then just literally days before we were scheduled to go out there, our phones blew up. Our phones blew up because the Georgia Guidestones blew up.
Yeah.
And then it's on Fox News. I mean, it was just crazy. I'm like, you're kidding me.
Mm-hmm.
Then we planned. I said, okay, I need to find another place now that's got some mystery to it. Coral Castle, very mysterious, down in Homestead, Florida. And
we got EPs right on recorders, and I'm not really like a ghost person so much, more in the UFO type of thing, obviously, but we did grow up in a home where there was a brutal murder, which a book and a movie was made of later on, called The Death in Canaan, the Barbara Gibbons trial. And I used to get some weird gut feelings when I went in there. It was a dark, right, kind of a weird feeling. And so Rihanna calls me up and says, you want to go to Miami? We're filming at the castle. And I'm thinking to myself, sure, why not? What's the worst thing that can happen, right? And I was actually quite surprised. I like, in some respects, I'm a little skeptical about things sometimes, because I'm scientifically based kind of at heart. And I couldn't believe what we captured there. I mean, Rihanna was just like blowing my mind. We would go into this room where there was some like just lights on the floor, and she would ask a question, and all of a sudden there'd be a light burst, and say, oh, is this a boy? Is this a girl? And every time we said, is it a girl? I think it was. Boom, a light went off. Is it a boy? Nothing. Is it a girl? Boom, a light would go off. And then would ask these questions, and we're recording it on two separate recorders. And sure enough, you play it back and you can hear the voices on the recorder. So I was like, if there was anything skeptical with me regarding the castle, I'm sold. I mean, that place is legit. And I couldn't believe it with you, because
we were just trying to get it figured out when we were going to get down there.
I watch these TV shows and they're like, oh, something's a bang on the pipe or something. This was like at a different level, right? This was fantastic.
But Tom, do you remember the shutter of the window completely closed?
Yeah, that's true too. That was weird.
It just shut. And there was no wind.
Nothing going on.
What?
Everybody's in there. They asked a question. There must have been 5 or 6 people anyway, right? Where we had to climb this like staircase to go up to the top of this little room where this guy lived. And I can't remember what the question was, but all of a sudden, bang, the shutter just slammed out of nowhere. And it was like 2 stories up. I mean, it was crazy. So anyway, I was like, check, please.
I have a question for you in regards to the structure of the stone at Coral Castle. What was the stone made out of? Was it all coral, or was it something else? Because certain stones hold energy, so that could have precipitated your EVPs, your electronic voice phenomena that you encountered, along with your haunting that you had where the window closed.
She has a piece of it right there.
Wow.
That's from.
Have you experienced any?
This is a piece of it. It
Have you
was
experienced?
actually built. Sorry, go ahead.
Have you experienced any encounters with it?
Well, I've been so busy, I haven't. But you got a piece too, I think, Tom, right?
I do. Yeah, I got to bring a piece back. Yeah, we went,
Yeah.
through the gift shop on the way out, and yeah, we've got some
I
books on
have
it.
to say though,
Yeah.
they had these lounge chairs, Tim, that was made out of like the coral. So we laid back in them, and they were the most comfortable chairs you
Mhm.
were ever in. Like, forget a lazy boy. It's
Well, they're
so
carved out of solid rock. I think wasn't it crystal? Was it crystal and soapstone? Was it soapstone too, or no?
no, I can't. I think it
No?
was limestone, or it was a
Okay.
combination of things because it was excavated originally at a different area, and then he loaded all these sculptures that were really, really heavy, like what, 3 tons, onto
Yeah,
this little tiny truck that
supposedly.
supposedly, and
Right.
nobody saw him do it, and it was just one little
I don't know
guy,
if anyone knows about it, but yeah, there's this one guy. He must have weighed like 130 pounds. He was small, like
100
5'6".
pounds.
Yeah, tiny guy. And he built this castle by himself, supposedly, and then moved it by himself. And all he had was a truck. And he had like this girlfriend that was like, what, really, really young, right? 15 or 16 years old or something
His
crazy like
sweet
that.
16.
Yeah, it was really kind of weird. But anyway, he was like 40. She's like, you know, barely legal. And there was just those two. And he built this freaking castle. And no one knows how he did it. And it's like Stonehenge. You've got these like massive friggin' rocks that are just on top of one another. And you're like, how did they do it? And it's kind of like Stonehenge. Like, how did they actually really get those? There's no way. I don't care how
Somebody
many people you
stated
have.
in
There's no freaking way. I mean,
a,
that would, what are they, 20 tons, 40 tons, right? That's like lifting, what, 6 elephants at a time? I mean, there is no
Yep.
way. And like,
It
oh, he
was
probably
coral
pulled it
top.
with his truck. The truck only weighed 15 or 2,000 pounds. There's no way there's no way. And the more you go there and the more you sit in these places and the way everything's aligned, like you sit in certain spots and you see, Jupiter here and you move over, right? There's a whole, planetary type thing there that's all perfect aligned. And then there's these orbs that you see moving around the rooms and shutters are slamming. And, we got multiple film crews there. We got one film crew filming everything. Then we had a film crew filming the film crew. So that we had double, you could actually see the guys walking around and filming, and we'd stand at certain spots, and all of a sudden you'd feel these chills up your back, and we had like all these people outside at night, and we were all like taking turns doing these things, and it is a very weird place. I mean, if you've never been, I mean, it's not scary. It's not like when we went to St. Augustine, we went underneath where the fort was, where the prisoners were captured, and they had to sleep in this tilted little area. And to go to the bathroom and stuff, it all ran down. So poor guy at the bottom, right? But I mean, it was like it'd be like being in an area where you could never sit up fully for the rest of your life. That had a different feel to it, and that's the fort in St. Augustine. What's the name of that fort? I can't remember the name of it.
The old fort.
It's the Teal Fort. So they had this area where they would keep prisoners for like years, and it was only like 3 feet high. So for the rest of their lives, these poor guys could never sit up again. That had a different feel. The castle was almost electric, right? It was like something, this energy, right? It was like a tingling. It was just like the sounds on the recorders. There was nothing spooky. It was just alive. It was like the whole
It was
castle
alive.
was alive.
Yes.
So
And when the tourists left, that's when we started feeling and seeing more activity,
it
because
came
we
more
were
alive.
lucky enough that
Right.
it was a full moon, and it was the once a year paranormal
Right.
research team with David Rodriguez.
Mhm.
And we got to be there at night. So a lot
Right.
of people were not there, and we had the whole place to ourselves. That's when the magic started happening.
That when the tourists left, it just exploded.
The secrets.
Mm-hmm. So I know
Okay,
Tim wanted to say something.
the
Yeah.
one thing I wanted to say, going back to where you were saying, how did he do it? The fact that he did it at night in darkness, and the fact that somebody else claimed that they actually saw him elevating stone with sound, could actually be how he did it.
I think so.
Because Tibetan monks actually supposedly elevate stone, heavy, massive stone, with sound frequencies. So
Correct.
if that's possible, then
Yeah,
possibly
that's a theory.
he knew that.
For sure. Right.
And who's to say the pyramids wasn't actually put together that way?
Right. No one knows for sure.
I saw
But
somebody in chat
That is
mention
interesting, and it does work.
somebody in
Um,
We
chat.
should try that.
Mighty Whitey says sound resonates. Yes,
Mhm.
you're right,
Absolutely.
Whitey.
Right. And there is some talk about that's how they did it. But anyway, back to the chat real quick. Somebody mentioned Fort Myers, and my son was born in Fort Myers. I used to live there. So yeah, I miss it. Should go back. Got married in Sanibel Island. Yeah. Great island, terrible marriage. Anyway, back to you. Back to you, Tim. So
Basically, I was just going to say some of the people in the chat are really reacting to what you're saying. So keep it up. The pyramids were not just men and animals. The
No.
pyramids were not just men and animals to build.
yeah, I think it was alien. Like I believe that there was a lot of interference or help, if you will, with the I mean, you look at the pyramids too, and you look at the areas that Rhiannon's gone to. I mean, she's been in like 18 countries. It's amazing the things that she's seen. I'll never see what she's seen.
I have
And,
not been to the pyramids yet, but that is on my top list. I was just kind of waiting for things to calm down over in the Middle East, before I can go
well, look at it
travel
this
over
way,
there.
right? You have these pyramids that are actually, we all know that there's no way, right? It's just, God, how do they do it? I mean, I tried to have some a floor put in, and these guys could barely get the floor level, and we've got, my God, it's amazing. And we should do that. We should go to Mexico or something, right? Where do you want to go?
I'm supposed to go to Costa Maya next year, 2024. Yeah, 2024. So I'm going to try to do another show out there at the Mayan ruins.
Okay.
Oh,
That'd
that'd
awesome.
be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, get some footage. We'll bring it on the show, right? We'll bring
Yeah,
it.
we'll
She's
put it
part
on
of
the
the show now,
show
so
for you.
your footage is part of Tim's channel now, right?
Well,
Go ahead,
that's
Tim.
up to you. That's up to you. Yeah.
I think it'd be
Yeah, I
great.
went to go see the Mitchell Hodges crystal skull that was
Yes.
excavated
yeah.
from, I think,
Yeah.
one of the Mayan ruins years ago. And the keeper that had it, I was supposed to go like a couple years ago, contact in the desert, and I was yeah.
We were going to talk about that too, right? With the Star Child skull.
Yeah, but he's
That's
not
what
here
we were
to
going to
talk
talk about too.
about
It
it.
was found in Mexico. What do you have any thoughts on this?
From what I understand, it's supposed to be a human child with hydrocephalus, which can be the case, but how do you determine whether it's not of alien origin? That's the thing.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb. Let's say, I don't know. That doesn't look human to me. I mean,
But if you see
That's bigger than my head.
it's tiny.
If you see a human skull, child skull, like in this picture here, child skull, and how it's expanded due to hydrocephalus, which is excess fluid around the brain when they're developing, and it expands the skull outward so that when the plates connect in the skull itself through development, it'll be enlarged like that, and the eye sockets will be pulled upward. So that could be what it is, or it could be the other one. I just don't have the facts to discern between the two. I just know that hydrocephalus is a very good explanation for the Star Child skull.
Now, for your listeners, Chase Klutsky got involved in the skull, the testing of the teeth. Yeah, that guy, he knows what he's talking about. That's where I got this from, actually. This was in a museum. Anyway, and the one I have is not actually the Star Child skull. It's the one that was in the museum that went kind of on tour, if you will, because you can't travel with actual human remains. So this was the one that was fabricated for the museum and to go on display. So with that said, Chase Klutsky, who used to be with the MUFON Star team,
Show your skull again, Tom.
what's that? Oh,
Show your skull again. I was doing overlays.
so anyway, so the teeth for the Star Child skull were tested by a team working with Chase Klutsky, and they found that the teeth were human. And so Chase broadcast that, oh, well, the skull must be human. The teeth, there's no proof that the teeth that were found in the same cave had anything to do with this skull, because there were multiple skulls and multiple teeth. So to say that this is actually human, as she claimed, that's not really true. We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know for sure. Now, I can tell you this, that the skull is extremely thin, probably a third as thick as a normal skull, and it has threads going through it, like a spider web inside the skull itself has like a spider web of this reinforced type webbing. That doesn't strike me as being human either. So as far as what it is exactly, I don't know. There are times I think, well, maybe it was a deformed skull, that kind of thing. But at the same time, this skull, if it was a child or a human, would be at least 10 to 15 years old, right? It's smaller skull, but it's still pretty good size. That means that this child, if it was deformed, could not have fed for it could not have survived on its own. The fact that the back of the skull is somewhat flat, would lead someone to believe that maybe it was resting on the back of its head. So if the child was on its head until it was 10 to 12 years old, I mean, that might explain for why it's flat like that. But then how did it survive at all? How did it eat? How did it get water? How did it go to the bathroom? Right? I mean, it's not like it happened, was on its back for 6 months. It would have been 10 to 12 years. So you mean to tell me that this supposed child, according to Chase Klutsky, this human, was able to survive in a cave by itself for 12 years or so?
Yeah, it's supposedly a 900-year-old human-like bone skull. So that doesn't say definitively. It was unearthed in a mine tunnel near Mexico's Copper Canyon around 1930.
That's true, right?
The Star Child Project is an informal research group that has coordinated numerous scientific investigations since its founding in February of 1999.
Yep. It was bought by Melanie, who was a nurse at the hospital. She bought it from someone at the hospital. And then Melanie got in touch with Ancient Aliens. They did a show on it. And it got some popularity. People were interested. And then she had this one made, which is identical. So she could take it on the road and bring it to people to have them look at it, because you can't travel.
Is this a different one from the one you have?
No, I think that's it. I think that's the one I have. You see that little spot on the top, of that little white spot on the top?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they actually cut into the fabricating of it, so you could see how thick the skull actually is. Can you turn that around? Can you show the other pictures of that? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a section. Yeah, see the difference? I mean, it's not even close, right? It's definitely peculiar.
Right.
And
It's like
small.
the eye sockets are closer together.
Right.
So in a little bit different shape.
See this right here on the. I'm sorry. Go ahead. See this right here?
Yeah.
That is where they filled it. And if you to show the thickness of the skull, that's how thick the skull is.
Wow.
That's a hard head.
Yeah. It's thin. That's a thin skull.
Yeah, and one thing I researched recently today, I actually came up with information suggesting that they found 3 more skulls that are identical to that and from the same location. So, how could 4 children have all the same symptoms of hydrocephalus at the same time? That,
Well,
that
how
would
do you
be
know
that
that's
would
a true
be
story?
astronomical. If that was the actual case, it would be astronomical in number to suggest that
Right.
that is the case, because it would be impossible.
Where
So
where
there's
did you hear this from?
I actually read it online.
Yeah.
I
What
was
from?
I was
What source?
researching National Geographic.
Oh wow, National Geographic. Okay, so that's a good source. So they
Yes,
found several more of these.
3 more,
Well, there you go.
That's
and
so cool.
they were all identical to the one you have, Tom.
So they were all the same age too, about or same size?
About the same age and about the same size. So, what are they if they're not human? I
Right.
don't know. And
Right.
since we don't have the definitive answer, we can't say it's alien. But then again, we can't say it's human. So, we're leaving it up to you in the chat room and to those of you who are watching online to make up your own mind.
Well, I look at it this way too. Some of us with O negative blood. I think there's a species within a species. I think that there's different breed of human, just like there was a dog, right? I mean, we have, if not, we wouldn't have different blood types. We wouldn't have this group runs on 97.1. These family members run on 98.6. There are differences, right? We are not all exactly the same. If we were, we'd all be the same, right? We'd all have the same blood type for one, right?
Exactly.
So I do believe that there are different forms or offspring, if you will, or different breeds, actually, right? Maybe a breed,
Right.
a different breed of human or that kind of thing. And I would think that this is also speaks for that.
Right.
And,
It
maybe
does.
it is 98% human, but you know what? It's got a thinner skull. It looks different. And if there's 3 or 4, then that's not a medical issue, right? Because they
Okay, well
Deformity.
then I have
perform
a
it.
question for you. What do you think about this?
Mhm.
The Atacama Humanoid. What do you think about that?
Well, there you go again. Let's say, for sake of argument, let's say that it is human, right? Now we've got a 6-inch human. So
Right.
here's this breed within a breed type of thing, which I have been very strong about or voiced for a long time, that there are different strings or breeds of human being. A 6-inch human, my God, you look at that thing lived it all, right? Between Jesus. Can you
And I
imagine?
think the ribs are 10 ribs instead of 12.
See, 2,
The
4,
the
6,
eyes.
8, 10, 12, 14,
I thought I
16.
read that there was something different with the ribs, or there was more or less. And then look at the eyes; they're like elongated, right? They're kind of alien looking. I can see where people would gather, and look at that, go, oh, that's got to be a miniature alien. Look at the cone
Right.
head.
Right. But according to our guest who hasn't shown this evening, and we do apologize for that because we do not know the circumstances as to why he did not show.
You better have a good reason.
Yeah,
Sorry.
because
Sorry,
we're gonna have him on. He was stating that the skull plates, through a bunch of malformed dysplasia of the skull plates, is what caused the head to grow like that. And when the plates grew elongated, it caused the eye socket to extend. So it looks like that. So
I did read online somewhere that when it was tested, it showed 91% human DNA.
right.
But what
Right.
about the 9?
The
Tell us
9%.
about that. Yeah.
Right.
What is that?
Well, if there's even 1% that's alien, then it's alien. That's a hybrid,
Right.
right? I mean, it is what it is.
So
Right.
because of
Exactly.
91%, the majority,
I don't
it's
get it with
automatically human.
I don't want to take that leap. I don't want to go there. Well, if it's 99% human, then you already did go there, right? I mean, it's nothing to, it is what it is. Grow up, put on your big boy pants. If it's 99% human and it's 1% alien, then it's 1% alien. I mean, what kind of researcher are you? Oh, it's only 90% human, but I'm not going to say it's alien.
Well, they didn't say it was alien. They said it was 1% unknown.
Okay,
So
well, if it's not
they're
human and it's an unknown, then it's not
Does that mean it's off-world DNA?
whatever.
It could just be a genus or a species that has yet to be discovered. You know, because
Okay,
we're coming up with hidden tribes in the Congo that they've never discovered before.
And
Recently,
6-inch humans. Could you imagine that little 6-inch human, the battle he must have had? I mean, just like an ant would have been like, my God, right? A third the size of his body, right? Poor guy.
Look how developed it is. 6 inches.
Ugh.
yeah, 6 inches is.
He probably didn't date much, right?
From,
So,
from what I understood
that had to be
from,
rough.
from
That had to be
Gary
tough.
Nolan, the theory is that the 6-inch humanoid skeletal structure was from someone who is very small that had dwarfism, and the skeletal remains were that of a fetus. The only thing is, I've heard conflicting reports that the skeletal remains were that of a 7-year-old. So if that was a 7-year-old, there's no way it was a fetus, and it was no way that it suffered from dwarfism. So what is it?
Well,
I don't know.
dwarfism would also, that human would have been deformed too. His legs would have been very short, correct? You've got a, the medical side of things, right? I mean, if it was a dwarf, then usually they're deformed to some degree, right? The larger head, right? More of a, right? I don't know the proper word for it today, but
Gyro says, look, they say we have 75% junk DNA in our system.
that's
So
true.
what is that 75%?
Well, it's not junk, I'll tell you that.
Why can't we get the facts? Where's the data?
Yeah, where's the empirical data? Yeah. And we were hoping to have that empirical data here tonight. But it looks like we are not going to be able to interview Gary Nolan tonight. And we sincerely extend our apologies to the chat room and to those watching online. We will bring him back on at a later date, hopefully get him on to dig deep into soldiers encountering UAPs, whether they're working on them or whether they're coming in close contact with them through landings or recovery operations where they have either died or gotten extreme brain changes. So we will be talking about that. And that's what we were going to cover tonight, along with the Atacama Humanoid and the Star Child skull. And thanks to Tom and his quick wit and determination, we are able to talk about the Star Child skull. So thank you, Tom.
I'm just glad to be back, man. I haven't been on your show in, a month? I mean,
yeah,
we're
all glad you're back. It's nice to see you again. And Rhiannon, it's really great to have you on the show.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
Matt can't make a lot of these shows because he's on another channel too in Boston. So it looks like, Rihanna's going to be our third host from here on out. I mean,
yep.
Right?
Yes.
Guys, would you rather have Rihanna or Matt? Okay.
No question. Hands down, Rihanna. Okay.
She's in 18 countries. She knows a lot,
Esmeralda says it was nice to have time to get to know the new co-host.
Thank you. We're going to have a lot more discussions, a lot more fun coming up.
Yeah, one thing I want to say is I got to give a shout out to Mighty Righteous, who's in the chat. He does outreach to homeless in his hometown in California. And he passes out food, blankets, tarps, water, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Nice. Mm-hmm. Keep it up. We need more people like you.
If you can, go over to V for Vets on YouTube, and there is a Cash App link or a PayPal link, and please donate to his cause because it's a very good one. He's also trying to help homeless veterans. So
good.
that's
Okay.
really
What's the link again? Because I didn't even catch it.
V4 Vets.
V4, V like a
V,
4.
capital V4, the number 4 Vets.
Okay.
Over on YouTube, and you can go over there and find his PayPal link and donate to his cause. That would help out greatly. Also, I want to say thank you to all my members, which, we got to do that from time to time because I do have some joint members here, and I got to bring them up so that they can be recognized. Here they are. They are My Flock is Everywhere. Sarah, Mike Johnson, Joshua 420, The Unknown, Simone Maxim, Julia White, Unidentified S4, who was my co-host when we interviewed Travis Walton at UFO Expo, and he was also my co-host when we interviewed Avi Loeb, Pinzer Lou, Angel Wings, who just had a birthday the other day. So happy birthday to Angel Wings. Cable Guy, Ardian Medic 1968, Beats or Nanine 101, because that's her son's channel. So it's really Nanine 101. And Mr. DB Cooper 77. For your patronage, I do have a video thank you. Thank you very much to my join members. If you want to join the channel, you can join the channel for $1.99 per month. You get really cool emojis and lots of different benefits if you go to a higher tier. And we would really appreciate it because all the money that we get from memberships and from super chats and super stickers and the like go back into the channel to upgrade our production quality and to upgrade our programming. So please check that out. And Tom, any last words?
Yeah, just that I first day back, and it was a shame that our guest did arrive because you certainly put a lot of time into questions for him, and I know Rhiannon studied hard for it, and we all had a lot of questions for him. So it was unfortunate, but I was
really excited.
It was kind of nice just
talking
amongst ourselves a little bit and taking some questions from chat. So with that, I do apologize on behalf of our guest, but then again, I'm glad we were able to spend more time with Rhiannon, introducing her as well, and so it's good to be back, and yeah, it's good to have you. So for that, it was a pleasure to be here again, and I again, Tim, thanks for putting together a decent show.
Yeah,
thanks,
thank
Tim.
you. Rhiannon, any last comments from you?
No, we're just looking forward to so many things going on. Just a UFO Expo, trying to plan that for the June 10th Spruce Pine Alien Festival. I've got Sky Tribe Ancient Mysteries Episode 3 with Coral Castle with Tom. We've got that baking in the oven right now. Fuel up. Yeah, get some of that. By the way, Tom, bring that full up next weekend. I want to try some of that. The sleeping time stuff.
Right.
But anyway, that's what we're looking forward
to. Me too. I want to try it as well.
Yeah, they should be sending you some, right? Did you? Did you get Did you get the teaser that they gave us, or?
I have the teaser, but until I get the link for ordering set up, I'm not going to put it up because when we advertise it, we want to have the link so people can access it.
I think it's a cool little sponsor too because it's good. It works. It's not like, my friends have a show on for the Miami Dolphins, right, on YouTube, and they're sponsored by Manscaped. That to me would be embarrassing, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? So,
yeah.
And this way,
do that.
Yeah, we can get some samples and give it to our guests and that kind of, our those in chat and that kind of thing. So, anyway, yeah. So, oh, by the way, I made a hot sauce. Anybody like hot sauce? Because I made a lot of it, and it is friggin' blistering hot. It's like, seriously, it's like battery acid with ginger. I mean, it's that friggin' potent. It's, oh my god, it's Carolina Reapers, scorpion peppers. What's the other one? There's like a cherry pepper, but it's hot anyway. Bubblegum peppers, and So I mixed them all together, put them in a blender, you know, and added some ginger and some flavoring, and put them in a crock pot. And oh my God, it's so freaking hot. It's like one little
Tom,
thing. What?
you must have recovered from the Roswell chili peppers that we had for a whole
yeah.
week. He's
Yeah.
talking about hot sauce. Listen, the whole week our stomachs were just, that stuff is potent. And now
Oh my
you're
God.
making hot sauce.
Yeah. I know. I came back and made hot sauce. Yeah. Well, I thought it was good, but it's like, I'll be out in a minute. Right away. It was just ripping our stomachs up, man. It was terrible. So at the UFO Expo, it's like a line at the bathroom, right? So it was just hilarious. Anyway, and Tim, he was there. Tim actually ran a video. We showed it at UFO Expo. It was actually pretty cool. It was like on 8 or 10 TVs at one time.
Yeah, it was really cool.
2 or 3 times. So UFO Man was part of it, and so yeah, it was kind of cool. So for June 10th, Tim, we want to do a live feed, you know, from UFO Expo for your channel or our channel. And,
I also want to possibly play that new version of the same video clip that played at Roswell, but you got to watch it first. Yeah, you got to watch it first.
I'll do that. Okay, sure. All right.
Anyways, guys, we're going to say goodnight for the evening, and we will catch you next week with our guest, Race Hobbs.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. And April Fools, too. So we'll pull some stunts on them, right?
Yep.
And people, you guys in chat, yeah, you got to mess with it. It's an April Fool's Day, for God's sakes, right?
Yeah, we got to mess with them. So
yeah, we do that.
We're going to do that
for a while, but you know, I haven't seen him in years. But yeah, he's got a good sense of humor. But
okay, so we're going to say goodnight, and we'll see you next week.
All right, guys.
All right. Night, night.
Drink slow, drive slow.